Are you leaving all this in?
No.
Parts of it?
Maybe.
Chop it up. Put it at the end.
I'll put it at the end. It's just us going back and what? Who? How?
Huh? But the majority of the population is going to be sucking their fucking teat going, please, can I have some more? Can I get something? Can I get some porridge? He's like, only in one other movie.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas is only in one other
He's
film.
only in one other movie that matters, and it's not Puss in Boots. This is shit that I used to do back in the day as a young buck. This includes hot dogs inside of your... Go ahead.
You said you used to do it, and you're still doing it.
But I still do it because I never go full Republican on my parents, right? Because I'm just trying to...
Never go full
We never go full Republican.
They are gaslighting us.
But if there are no soft targets, because everybody's walking around with a gun.
Walking around hard.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 2A Procast, everybody. Jake and I are starting out today's podcast.
We are beginning at the end, and we put the end at the beginning. And how we did that was, look,
Matrix.
if you really
You're in the
want,
Matrix.
If you want the long version of this bad boy, then stay till the very end of the video, because do you want to play that dude's video and then play us talking about that dude's video at the very end of this situation? Why?
So
Let's do this.
Because I don't believe in stealing content, no matter how.
Oh, we're not stealing. We're commenting on it.
Correct, but let the people see it for themselves. If they want to see it for themselves, we can direct them. I'll link it.
We'll link it.
We'll link it,
and we'll put a little maybe a screenshot of it.
Right.
At the end of this, at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
And then you guys can watch us talk about it after you've watched it.
Yes.
Because it's a very interesting situation. And
it's interesting.
It begs the question, do we get mad at those who have dissenting opinion? Do we immediately shut them out, or do we take them in? Do we cast a good debate in their general direction and take the opportunity as practice within the debate about the Second Amendment? Because that's exactly what it is. The more often we get an opportunity to talk to anybody who doesn't like guns is an opportunity for us to sharpen and hone your skills.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron, but it's also to sharpen and hone skills
in
debate and to see it from the other side. Even though often, because here's the deal, we are never going to get anywhere unless we allow the opinions of the other side at least to sit on the table in front of us.
Right. We don't have to eat it.
Yeah, you got to.
But it at least has to be on the table.
Allow them to serve it. Allow us to see it, because if we don't do that,
I wouldn't want a stinky pile of shit on my dinner table.
There's just we're never going to meet in the middle.
Right.
And I refuse to meet in the middle. There is no compromise when it comes to the Second Amendment. But we can't ever come to the table to talk about anything if there is no table to put anything on.
Right. If it's just our table,
yeah, then
and they're not allowed to at least say their piece,
right?
Even though their piece is wrong,
dude, it is fun, especially when you have sharpened your skills and you start asking the right questions and you say
it's as sharp as a blade.
Yeah, you say that. Yeah, well, what would you say about this? And they can't answer the question.
And they go,
what do you say about that? When they can't answer the question, you can walk away from the conversation. You don't have to change somebody's mind within the conversation, but you leave them with questions that they weren't able to answer.
Correct.
And they'll chew on it. Any semi-intelligent person will chew on the fact that, wow, this guy presented me with facts and was not able to. And I was not able to respond with them. What are we doing? Are we pulling the...
I just didn't want it tuck in my belly no mas.
I flagged you.
That's okay.
You got flagged.
It's in a holster, and it's also your finger isn't on the trigger. So there's that.
There is that.
There is that.
In dubes.
Yeah. And it's also not a SIG, so.
It's also not a SIG. None of these are SIGs. As a matter of fact, you got your CZ over there.
My Czechoslovakian.
We've got your...
Is that appropriate anymore? Can I say Czechoslovakian?
I think you can say that.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You never know anymore.
Ne'er do you know.
This is not Tropic Thunder age no mas.
We have the MMP 2.0, which is my carry. Your carry is the Czech
current
CZ, and then we have what everybody sees you
diddling
with in the videos, which is your HK VP9.
My H cussy.
Your H cussy.
Anyways, continuing on.
It's a good call. I do want to say though, first of all, what's happening over there? What holster is that? That is not a Tacticonian.
We don't make one.
For a CC?
No,
We don't, do we?
no, not yet.
No, yeah.
Yes.
What movie?
No, yeah.
No, yeah. Come on, I've asked you this fucking question before.
Hold on.
Come on.
No, yeah.
No, yeah. Come on, y'all. 2A protagonists. What do you guys think it is? No, yeah.
So I've got 2 guesses.
Let's do it.
El
Give me
Mariachi.
the actor.
Antonio Banderas,
Absolutely. From what movie?
Mariachi.
No. He's like only in one other movie.
Yeah, Antonio
Outside-
Banderas is only in one other.
He's
film.
only in one other movie that matters, and it's not Puss in Boots.
That was a good movie.
It was
I'll
a
be
great-
honest. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of a good movie. Isn't El Mariachi the sequel? There's 2 of them.
I'm just gonna give it to you. It's Desperado.
Desperado. Yes. So El Mariachi. Sorry, I'm sorry. Desperado is the follow-up to El Mariachi, which is an earlier film.
Intriguing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun fact
Learn something new
of
every
the
day.
day.
Little FFOTD for that ass.
I was on it though, dude. I was
Can
the slide.
Can I talk about what?
And they got the pistols. They're on the bar,
Oh, did you know?
and they're all click, click, click.
Yeah,
click.
yeah, yeah. Click, 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 click.
So good.
That was such a good scene. So here we've got, the Tacticon holster, and you know what makes me sad? This holster doesn't work. It doesn't holster a firearm.
Yeah, look at that. Didn't work.
Do you know why it doesn't work?
Because it's lame and gay.
It's less than $50.
Ah,
So it could never possibly work.
that's true.
Yeah. I just thought I'd bring that up.
I appreciate it.
If it's not at least 180,
Yeah,
what are you even doing with your life?
that's a good point. I
So-
spent $1,000 on that.
Dude, it's clearly very, very technologically advanced thermoplastic with proprietary wing
Proprietary.
that prevents you from printing. And what do we call this? This is going to be how do we church this up? Reinforced
Polycarbonate.
aircraft grade space age nylon.
Nice. I like that.
Anyway,
Anyways, back to dissenting opinion.
Hold on a second. Speaking of these 2 things, I do want to say now we're on the topic of price, and sometimes we get into this, and I like this because you've got what would be or what some would call goon tape on the HK. I have none on this, but there will be some on soon.
I like how you just have some
And
Parmesan cheese and peppers.
Well, there is some Parmesan on the table. So let me tell you what grates my Parmesan.
Yes.
While I eat grated Parmesan.
Whilst.
And if any of you have not grown up poor, I want to see, or for those of you that have grown up fairly poor, or just like to pretend like you're poor, this is
all of the above.
This is shit that I used to do back in the day as a young buck. This includes hot dogs inside of your. Go ahead.
You said you used to do it, and you're still doing it.
But I still do it because you could take the kid out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the kid. You know what I'm saying?
That's what my uncle said to me too.
What's happening right now, for those of you that can't see, for those of you that can't see, that aren't watching but are listening, is I'm putting crushed red pepper out of a pizza guy's packet into a Parmesan cheese packet. You shake it up. It's called a little shake and bake.
A little shake and bake with
And
Jake.
this is called
It's a little
the
Jake
po'
shake
boy.
and bake.
And I like to talk about things that grate my cheese while eating grated cheese. So let me down this real quick.
Yeah, enjoy.
That's good. Yep.
Nice. Straight down the hatch.
Dude, it's fucking delicious. Again, just red pepper with Parmesan cheese.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It's a good time.
Yeah. I'm going to continue eating all these packets that are sitting on the table.
Anyways, while we're talking about tape,
Tape. Goon tape. No tape. If you were to procure goon tape, but you didn't want to spend the premium because it's tape around a firearm, right?
yes,
What would you purchase?
hockey tape.
There you go, guys. So instead of buying goon tape at a premium, you buy hockey tape because goon tape is
Hockey tape.
okay. Cool. Now that that's out of the way, we were going to get into dissenting opinion,
Yes.
why it's important. Sorry about that, guys. I had to.
Little
I had to
little
talk about
rabbit
it.
hole.
Yeah, a little rabbit hole. Hole of a rabbit.
yeah.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right. So
It's Howie's, I believe. Howie's hockey tape.
we need to do. We just. You know what?
Huh.
I'm pretty sure we have an extra chromosome.
I'm pretty sure I have half of one and you have half of it.
And together,
Together we have one whole extra chromosome.
All right.
Or I'm missing 2 and you have to.
All right. So the deal is we
dealio?
this is something that we are going to encourage to do. We're going to encourage all of the listeners to do, because I will continue to do this, and I think it is incredibly important. Invite dissenting opinion to the table. When you come across somebody that wants to argue about guns, argue about it with them.
Yes.
Do it respectfully. Listen to what they have to say.
Always be the bigger man in that argument. Sucks.
You know how to be the bigger man?
Because they're soy boy cucks.
There are, I know.
And it sucks to have to be the more stoic, respectable human being in that.
Being stoic will win the argument every time.
Every time.
He who loses his temper
loses the war.
No, I don't think it goes like that. That's fine, though. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyways.
But he who loses his temper loses every time.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's lose our temper. Right now, I'm going to make it look like I'm showing Jake a video, and then it's going to cut in after the end of the video.
I'm not going to lie. That was interesting. I know it may piss you off. It doesn't make me mad.
So no.
I'm not going to fucking lie. I liked that. I liked that because for the first fucking time, it wasn't some fucking idiot just randomly. It was an interesting and well thought out, well put together opinion piece on his opinion of our gun culture, of our Second Amendment culture,
right,
and of the culture of preparedness in general. And to me, I wish more people would at least take the time to put some thought into it before just regurgitating shit they've already heard on the internet. I can appreciate dissenting opinion, period.
So
I do. I appreciate dissenting opinion. I don't agree with it.
Right. So
but I liked it.
So what's interesting about that is...
You know what else I liked real quick before you go?
Go.
I like the fact that he knew the terminology. He knew what he was talking about when he said level 3A, and then he described it. He said, just so you know, that's soft armor, that's flexible, blah, 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 right? And he said 5.56. He was like, that's AR-15 armor, just so you guys, or that's AR-15 ammunition, just so you guys know. So, I mean, the guy knew what he was talking about. He wasn't calling magazines clips. He wasn't calling ammunition outside of its native firearm platform.
So I would have liked it, except because I agree with dissenting. Well, I don't agree with dissenting opinion. I like dissenting opinion, much like you. The problem is, for me, it comes across as pseudo-intellectual, soaked in misinformation and falsities.
Improper. Okay, so I'll talk about what I didn't like about it. It was improper categorization. He's taking something that really you can't take all of us in the Second Amendment communities and then categorize us into 4 different categories. Now, don't get me wrong. Humans love to do that, right?
Right.
Humans love, it's by our nature, we need taxonomy for things.
Right.
We need to be able to take things and put them in a category and put them in a bucket and categorize them and catalog them in certain variations, right? That's why we have, a color wheel and a dictionary and all these things where we need to define things. We need to put them into categories. We need to segment them off. We need to label all of our shit.
Right.
It's
human nature.
Human nature, and that's what he's trying to do.
Right.
He's taking something that is a lot of those things. Sure, they exist, right? You can categorize those things to an extent, but they're very fluid. They blend together.
Right.
You'll find guy number 1 over in group number 4 sometimes. I hit every one of those fucking categories to some extent.
Right.
I don't have a place in the Appalachian Mountains, but what were you and I doing a few minutes ago?
We were looking at land.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
So does that make me a crazy Appalachian guy?
Right.
Have I also taken dumbass pictures of me eating cereal with a bunch of magazines strewn out on the on the table, which was part of category number 4? Yeah, I've done like shit like that. We've all fallen into a category where we could meet any of those. I guess, where do you spend most of your time?
Right.
Right. And you can't put a label on this necessarily. I just can't appreciate the fact that the guy had some dissenting opinion. He decided to make a fucking slideshow and take his time doing it. And, I can't say give facts, but if he already knew what was going on in the industry, if he already knows the terminology, then, well, not good for him, but good for him if he didn't, and he actually took the time to fucking learn it because the guy was speaking the language, at least, while doing that. He wasn't.
So what's interesting
he wasn't
is
misusing terminology.
The reason I brought this up.
Yeah.
He joined the Discord 3 days ago, released that video 8 days ago.
Somebody found it? Did somebody find him and then trace that back to?
So he was talking in our Discord, chatting in our Discord,
Okay.
shit talking.
Okay.
He was just shit disturbing.
All right.
Is what he was doing. Trying to get a rise out of people, asking a bunch of
Do
questions.
you remember the guy's username?
Yeah, it's his name. He's got it on his YouTube.
What was it?
It's like Jared.
Can I see? Because I think I want to see if it's the same guy that I.
It's Jared Daniel Lee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I saw that guy.
Yep.
I saw. All right. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yep. Where
Yeah.
he kind of gets into those intellectual debates on Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and he always kind of has this like, yeah, but, and
Well-
yeah, and he's just kind of he's kind of icing everybody throughout the entire process.
And that's my thing. It's like I at least respect your dissenting opinion.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I at least respect it. But what was interesting is he left the Discord like just yesterday, I'm pretty sure.
Why?
So he was in there just to ask questions and gather information.
About-
Whiskey ended up reaching out to him
Yeah.
and was like, hey, just curious why you left. Also, because we found the video, he's like, also, I respect you coming into here and
Yeah.
like asking questions,
Yep.
doing that. He's like, that's pretty fucking journalist of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I respect it. Sorry to see you go, blah, blah, blah. The guy responded, here, I'll read it to you. It's such a dickhead response.
Huh.
It
Yeah, because I was going to say good things where I would appreciate liberals that came into the 2A Pro Discord group that wanted more information.
Right.
Liberals or anybody that was anti-gun, they just wanted more information. We have a duty and an obligation not to attack them once they're in there.
Correct.
If they're just seeking, hey, I've got some questions about some things, they already know how we feel.
yes.
You know, maybe keep your fuck. There's nothing wrong with intellectual debate, but
No.
if you're just going to like vomit a bunch of opinions on the Discord group, it may not be a good look for you, right? You're going to get slaughtered. But asking questions and getting into a healthy debate and like putting your intentions up front when you get in there, I think is a good thing. I think we need more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would really kind of like get people's, you know, even if that person is not going to change our minds, which they won't, it allows us the opportunity to open up our fucking eyes and see it from his point of or her point of view,
Right.
which will allow us to furthermore develop better arguments down the road when we do have these debates, especially when they matter, especially in politics and
Exactly.
things of that nature.
We
Right?
need
So-
we need to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
We need to be able
Yeah.
to talk. We need to be able to have
and we need to be able to practice talking and practice communicating
Exactly.
because that
I
shit
completely
doesn't-
agree.
Yeah. Okay. What did he say when he left?
So I'll read you Whiskey's full comment here. I don't know what he said prior to this. He said, so I have to commend you on coming into the Discord server and conversating with people in and around quote unquote gun culture. You did what any true journalist would do and go behind enemy lines to observe and report. He goes, you messed up though when you started trolling. Sent up red flags. Best of luck to your YouTube channel. And so what he responds here is, sigh. Yeah, I really need to start my own gun-centered Discord. The room temp IQ with YouTube content consumers just gives me a headache. You're not my enemy. You're just more intolerant than me of views you don't understand. It's fine. Enjoy your echo chamber. I have other groups to spend time in. So, hey, listen, you're intolerant and dumb. I need to go start my own gun-centered Discord with people that agree with me.
I know.
Hey,
Enjoy
you're
your
living
echo-
in an echo chamber.
Let me go make mine.
I'm going to go make my own echo chamber.
I know. Like what? What's the point of that?
And so when you see that message and then you kind of rethink about the things that he said, none of what he said about any part of the gun culture that he listed was in a good view. It all had negative connotation.
It did, except for group number one. Group number one was preparedness. He
Prepared
said
citizens.
He said these are the prepared citizens. These are men that just want better for their community and their country, and these are the men that train
That's
in
probably
their gear.
because that's where he lumps himself into.
He probably puts himself in that group. He's pro 2A to an extent,
To an extent.
which in my opinion isn't pro 2A at all.
No.
I think it's fairly black or white.
Yeah.
You either fucking are or you aren't.
Yeah.
You either, if there is any semblance of gun regulation inside you where you feel like something needs to come in and get regulated, and we all know what happens with that, it's slippery slope into other things, then you're not pro Second Amendment.
Right.
You cannot tell people that you believe that the Second Amendment, because if you do believe that the Second Amendment should not be infringed, which is exactly what it says, then any law or anything that would potentially take anybody's right at any time with any weapon system away is thereby infringing on the Second Amendment.
Correct.
You cannot be pro Second Amendment and also say, yeah, but if there's a but in there, you're not.
I support the Second Amendment.
But
But
then you don't.
yeah.
So stop your sentence and just say you don't support the Second Amendment.
So we can clip this in here. So now that we're caught up with that, and you saw the beginning at the end before the middle, dissenting opinion and the Second Amendment space. And because we're talking about the categorization, right? I believe the last thing that you said before we did all those fun cuts, and if you want to see the stupid bloopers, it's at the end. But
it was the stupid bloopers. It was me being stupid trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
there was a whole lot of tism going around, and it wasn't just from you. But the categorization that was involved in that video, like you were saying earlier, he probably lumps himself into the first category, and that's probably why it's not as bad as the others. But if you notice, the way he kind of vilifies, maybe demonizes, or looks down upon the other categories.
Oh yeah,
is with kind of more disdain because he doesn't see a reason for it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what you find with most of the dissenting opinion, like the person that we just watched in the Brandon Herrera video.
Right. If you haven't seen the Brandon Herrera video,
will also be a link in the description.
Oh my God. Watch this before you move on any farther, because I actually kind of want to do a little VidKid breakdown on this right now.
Should we just watch it and pause it?
Let's watch it and pause it.
You know what? You don't have to.
You don't have to go.
Because we're going to pop it in here because this is the internet.
You don't have to go.
And me using your video in our video, fun fact, it's on the internet.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
You don't have to go.
You can blame it all on me.
Yeah, because this right here is what is wrong.
This is the soy boy latte out there that you'll find.
Yeah, this is what is wrong with the internet right here.
All right.
These people exist. This is what's crazy is like, if you were to say, is this a parody or is this real? I would have assumed it was a parody. I can't believe people like this exist. Straight up.
Dude.
Absolutely zero investigation into who Brandon Herrera is and what he does, not only for his community, but what he's attempting to do for his country.
Yeah.
And the shit talking,
dude,
the uneducated shit talking. I shall say no more. Let's just watch.
Let's watch.
Let's just watch.
Let's continue.
I don't know if y'all have heard about this guy. This is Brandon Herrera. Apparently, he's a YouTuber.
About 3 million people have, at least.
Yeah, we've heard about him.
YouTuber. Judging by the videos I'm seeing, it's giving discount FPS Russia. Nonetheless, he is a Republican House candidate.
Discount FPS Russia.
I love how, so to quickly pause and insert right here. It's my favorite thing, to pause and insert. I love how he just looks at his YouTube page and he goes, oh yeah, this guy's just a discount FPS Russia.
Yeah, you have no idea who the fuck he is.
Like, from what I can tell, it looks like he's done zero research into watching the videos. He's just like, yeah, he looks like a discount FPS Russia.
He's completely the opposite.
Like, you could spend like 10 minutes and figure out that you're wrong. Less, 25 seconds.
2 minutes. Yeah. Getting 30 seconds into one of Brandon Herrera's videos would tell you that he's not.
God, we're sucking his dick so hard right now.
I know.
Anyways, it's just because this guy's so stupid.
As y'all can see above me,
it's easy.
Over in Texas, his slogan appears to be "Let's go, Brandon." These people.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's actually fucking hilarious.
It wrote itself.
The joke. We don't have to explain why that's funny.
But I love.
But why is he so upset about it?
So I love it because he's showing everyone. It's like a virtue signal with these people. 2 words, and I immediately know where you align on the political chart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
To that comment.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon. These people.
Are you mad that his slogan supports him running for office while at the same time saying fuck Joe Biden in so many words?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what that slogan means. It's a double
fucking hilarious.
It's a fucking double entendre. And it's a beautiful one.
I love double entendres.
I know. It works out perfectly in his favor.
The reason why I'm making this video is because I was on Twitter and this tweet came across my timeline from Patriot Takes pointing out that Brandon Herrera posted a photo to his Instagram in which he is Jesus Christ holding a gun that I have censored, obviously, but...
I like how he censors it. I have censored, obviously. TikTok, I have censored it. Please, please, TikTok.
We've had to censor the picture of the 8. You didn't have to do that.
Well, he's on TikTok, so he probably did.
Oh, you absolutely had to do that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose.
That's the only smart thing he did in this entire video.
So
what's happening here is he's coming from his point of view, right? If you were to put himself in his shoes and what he's getting behind here is he referring to himself as Jesus Christ? But the reason why, when somebody doesn't do their homework and they just shit all over the internet like this guy is doing, it's because
there's literally
it's
shit
because they
speaking
don't
out of his mouth.
realize that we all refer to him as the AK Jesus because he's got hair like Jesus Cristo.
He's
and
also Mexican.
he's also Mexican, and he's a fan of AKs. But he doesn't know this.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that the internet gave him that nickname,
Correct.
and he's playing off of that nickname.
Right.
Yeah.
He's been dubbed AK Jesus,
Right.
just like
Not by himself,
No,
not self-proclaimed,
No.
just like you
Just
are the
like
Sandalorian,
I am, as well as Flip Flop Gun Jesus.
as well as Tactical Joel Osteen,
The internet gives
As
you
well-
monikers, and you can't lose them.
as
okay?
well as Bargain Bin Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, there's that.
Anything
too.
else?
Oh, there's a lot.
I'm
I
trying-
could probably have like a Christmas list. Long.
You got one that was really unique not too long ago. What was it?
I've been called.
Who was it?
I'm blanking on his name. Help me out with his name. I'm forgetting his
Give
name.
it to me. Give me a video.
Pop off a piece of my dick.
Oh yeah, that's
God damn it!
I got it. Hold on. Give me a sec. You're yelling at me right now.
He's an Ant-Man.
Fuck. He's an Ant-Man. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. I've been called Paul Rudd.
Yep.
I've been called Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. You
Matthew
get
McConaughey's
McConaughey a lot.
ugly brother. Bargain Bin Ashton Kutcher.
Yep.
Sandalorian. Flip Flop Gun Jesus.
Tactical Jesus.
The Flip Flopperator. The Flopperator.
Floperator.
Joel Osteen. Tactical Joel Osteen.
Yep.
I think that's just about it.
Yeah. And I think I got Tactical Ryan Reynolds.
You got Tactical Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's all I got. It's
I
not
like it.
bad.
Yeah, it's not
I'll
bad.
Fucking,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I guess.
There's been some more. I think someone called you Brad Pitt once.
Somebody called.
It's an inside joke. You don't get it.
It is. I did get called douchebag the other day on one of the channels in the same sentence that somebody said that you weren't the douchebag. It was interesting. I don't know if you saw the comment. I think it was on Twitter. Somebody said, I think the blonde guy's a douche. No, it was on the Treasures of the Orient video. They said the blonde guy is a douche. It was on T-Rex's Treasure of the Orient video. Said the blonde guy is kind of a douche, but I like the flip-flop guy. And I was like, fuck. I hope Nolan doesn't see this.
It goes straight to his head. What they don't know is I'm even bigger of a douchebag.
You really have no idea, do you?
Anyways, continuing
with
on.
our douche combined. Here we go.
He is portrayed as Jesus Christ. I want y'all to get a good look at this.
It's glorious.
This is why AI art needs to be regulated.
Yet
I am Ron
another.
Burgundy?
Wait, a liberal wanting something to be regulated by the government?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I would have never
was
expected.
that a question or
Yeah.
a statement? Yeah.
Well, is that even?
Yeah, leave it to this.
I don't even think this is AI art because I know Brandon has a picture like that.
No, this is somebody photoshopping
this
his
is
face.
Photoshop.
Yeah, it's somebody photoshopping his face.
No.
If that's
that's a photo Brandon has.
Oh,
Yes.
that's not even. Yeah, so they just photoshopped him in front of a giant wave.
Yeah. With Eli in the water and Donut.
And why does he kind of look like AJ Styles? Predictably so, Brandon Herrera is
This
a
is my favorite
Second
part.
Amendment
Hold on. Who is AJ Styles?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's insane to me that there are people out there who actually call themselves Second Amendment activists. No reasonable person wants to take away the Second Amendment. What they want to do is ban AR-15s.
There it is, folks. So no reasonable person. So that means Gavin Newsom is not reasonable.
No reasonable person wants to ban
Except
the Second Amendment.
this guy, I don't want to speak out of place, but I feel fairly certain to say that this guy would vote for a revision of the Second Amendment,
Of course he would.
thus voting to take away the Second Amendment.
Of course he would.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally. And the reason why, my friend, who's definitely not going to be watching this, but if you just happen to find your way out of your mom's basement and go upstairs where there's a real man watching real shit, like our podcast, ding, You asked the question, why is there even Second Amendment activists? And then you answered the question by saying, all we want to do is ban AR-15s.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He literally asked it, said a couple dumbass things, and then answered it at the very end of the conversation that he had with
Do
himself.
you have a question, or are you just dumb?
Nah, dude, it's incredible that he would be like, why would there need to be Second Amendment activists? By the way, all we want to do is take the AR-15s.
Yeah, by the way, we want to take away the Second Amendment, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not, we are not activists in the first place. I keep using his fucking word. This isn't an activist.
It's not.
We are a fucking preservationist. All we're trying to do is retain something that we already have, which is the Second Amendment, which is our constitutional right to bear arms, to keep and bear arms. And so this dude's like, an activist is somebody, in my opinion, who's going out and actively attempting to change something.
Which would be us.
I'm not trying to change fucking anything. I'm trying to keep what we have, what we were supposed to have when the Constitution was written.
So I see where you're getting at here.
You see where I'm going with this,
I feel
right?
like it's semantics. I feel like what we're getting at here is semantics.
I don't like the word activist. I don't like it. I think activist, I think PETA.
Pedophiles.
Are those people who like animals and rape children?
So I feel you. I feel your rage.
Okay.
Specifically because you're eating so many peppers and cheese. But
This guy's really great in my...
he's really great in your Parmesan. So
if you guys aren't watching me, I'm into... I think I'm on packet... Well, I'm on packet number like 10 because I ate 5 in there.
yeah. So the reason I would technically agree with him with your
You agree with this guy?
no.
Okay.
But the activism part is because we are actively trying to change what bullshit has been put into place.
Understood.
That's the only reason why I would say yes to activism.
Yeah,
but
we wouldn't need to be activists if you guys didn't fuck it up in the first place.
Correct.
If you just left it the way it was and allow us to continue to exercise the freedoms that were outlined in our Constitution, then we wouldn't have to be activating anything.
that were outlined by nature.
By nature, not even the Constitution. I mean, the Constitution is a document that just says, look, we're fucking free.
Yeah.
And let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with these guys.
I believe it was endowed by their creator certain unalienable rights.
Something along those lines.
I
Pretty
believe
sure.
I believe it says fuck around and find out.
That was definitely George Mason, I think.
George Mason.
George Mason said fuck around.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, continuing on.
Is there more?
Not every single gun. What really bothers me about this post, though, aside from the fact that, once again, Republicans think that Jesus Christ would be on their side, and more importantly, would carry a gun.
I'm just telling you right now, if you guys have never read the Bible, read the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Listen,
That'll answer a lot of questions for this guy.
God leveled cities. And he made man do it.
Yep. Didn't need a gun.
Yeah. He had to fucking
just the
slaughter him with swords.
It's the most powerful tool the average man has right now.
Yeah.
But if we had other powerful tools, then those would be in replacement of a gun.
Oh, kind of like Hellfire missiles and Apache helicopters.
We should probably, not probably, we should be allowed to have
We
those
should be
too.
able to have them.
We should be allowed to have those too. Absolutely.
So here's the difference between Exhibit A.
Oh, fuck. I'm out of cheese. All I have is pepper.
Dude, just do it.
Fuck it.
Pepper on pepper. So here's the problem with Exhibit A, which we watched previously, that you guys will have to click on to watch, and Exhibit B. Exhibit A was more dissenting opinion, where Exhibit B was much more just incorrect thought. I feel. It was more opinion piece based on, I don't like you.
Yeah. So one of them was just trolling.
Yeah.
The second one was a troll.
Yeah.
Just purely trolling. The other guy had tried to put some intellectual thought into it, started categorizing things. Really missed the mark, in my opinion,
Yeah,
obviously.
I agree.
But at least gave it a good shot. And that's what I can appreciate.
Right, he
gave
tried.
it- he fucking tried.
He
was
wrote
like,
out
"Let
a
me-"
script.
Yeah, wrote out a script.
He came up with a slideshow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do
He
at
was like,
least respect that.
let me try to do something that was like quasi insightful, put these guys into some buckets, explain why I think the way that I think, and you're entitled to your fucking opinion. It's the beauty of the great nation that we live in.
Right.
You're allowed to post stuff like that online.
Correct.
And guys like me who are open to dissenting opinion will appreciate it. And if you get into our Discord, like if you're listening to this right now and you're like, these guys are fucking idiots, I've got a serious problem with the Second Amendment, I invite you into the Discord channel that we have, as long as you're respectful. Because I want to make a liberal channel in there and see if we could just tap as many people as we can. Not a liberal channel, but a debate channel where we can invite people from other channels, like anti-gun channels, maybe, and say, hey, we're going to give you access to this one channel, not to our entire server. I don't want them in there seeing the shit that we're saying, obviously, but we can get them in the server, give them access to one particular channel, possibly. I don't even know if it fucking works like that, but that would be cool. And get in there and have a debate. Now, this doesn't mean that we get like 100 of us in Discord to jump on one person and completely attack
absolutely
them.
not.
But it allows us to say, okay, why do you think the way that you fucking think? Give us your opinion. We'll give you ours. We'll see if there's some sort of common. The best way to debate, if you really want to earn the other person's attention, respect, and potentially sway their thought one day, is to have a cage match. Is to pummel them in an octagon.
That's
and then cheat, rip their dick off, shove it down their throat.
Grab their dick and twist it.
But it's to allow them to. You find the common ground first, right? It's very common in any debate. Think about it like this. Some of you guys are married. Some of you guys are in relationships. Happy relationships do this. I've learned this along the years of marriage. Now, it's not perfect, and I don't do this every time, but oftentimes when my wife and I disagree on something, I'll try to find the common ground on something we do agree on, right? So I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but if she says, hey, I didn't like this thing because of X, Y, and Z, and I'd be like, you know what? I could agree with the Y thing. Absolutely. You're totally right in that. But here's why I don't agree with the X and the Z thing, right? So boom, you've already made a connection. We're like, I can see why you would think that way, right? Mm-hmm. You establish some sort of common ground. We can all agree on something.
It's the feeling. Your feelings are not invalid.
They're not invalid. Well,
they're real.
They're not invalid. They're real.
They're stupid.
Yeah, but they're real,
yes.
Right? Yeah, because if you say they're not real,
right,
ultimately all you're doing is gaslighting, and everybody fucking hates that. I don't care who you are, right. Liberal, Republican, whatever. But here's the deal with a legitimate debate, in my opinion, IMO, for all you Gen Zs out there.
IMHO?
Is you can establish common facts, I think is really what I was trying to go for there. Not can we find something can I find this thing that I don't agree with you with and pretend like I do? But it's more of, we could agree on one thing. Mm-hmm. Can firearms be dangerous when in the wrong hands of the wrong people?
So can a table saw.
Correct. But we can agree that firearms can be dangerous when they're in the wrong hands of the wrong people.
Absolutely.
We can agree on that.
Absolutely.
So let's come to the table and be like, yes, is this a deadly weapon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can be. Yeah.
It can be a deadly weapon when put in the hands of a person who's going to use it as deadly force.
Right.
So there are some things that we could be like, yeah, I can agree with you that firearms in the hands of people kill people. But what I can't agree with you on are that firearms themselves kill people.
Right.
Guns don't kill people.
No.
We all know
it's
that.
People.
We all know spoons don't make you fucking fat.
Right.
Right. We can all get behind that. So that's usually when I talk to, and I get in a lot of, it's usually at like the community barbecue, right? Or it's even like with my parents a lot of time. My parents are liberal. So what'll happen is maybe we're talking about guns, and I never go full Republican on my parents, right? Because I'm just trying to
never go full.
We never go full Republican. I just don't want to get. I don't want to go down that road. I want to have a nice Thanksgiving dinner,
right?
But I'll find the commonalities,
right?
Look, I can agree with you that firearms can be deadly.
Yeah, they can be.
They can be.
Correct.
Right? They can be deadly.
Absolutely.
We can agree on that. But when you do that, it takes walls down, right? It just removes that first layer of, okay, we're getting somewhere here. It removes the first layer of, I don't want to talk to you because I completely don't agree with you.
Well, actually,
so I think it's a good place to start.
If you think about it, firearms can never be deadly. Bullets are deadly. Well, I don't know. I could definitely bludgeon someone to death with my firearm.
Bludgeon somebody. I like that though. Yeah.
Right? Bullets.
Yeah.
It's the bullets.
Yeah. Guns don't kill people.
Really.
People in bullets,
reality.
really.
But with that, and it's I lost my train of thought.
Just left you, huh? Just gone.
gone like the wind.
I couldn't tell you what it is.
No.
But it gives me another opportunity to speak, so I shall. I just, I think we need more of it. I would like to have more of it. I would like to get into more intellectual debate. And you remembered.
Yes, I remembered
Nice.
my
Okay,
thought.
let's do it.
So the hardest thing is about something like a debate channel and trying to solve this argument over the internet. While I don't think it's actually the anonymity, it is that everybody just wants to prove everybody else wrong.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, and especially when what I've noticed from the opposite side of the spectrum, people who do kind of want to eliminate the Second Amendment, want more regulations on guns, they are generally coming from an aspect of, well, it's for the greater good. We want to keep people safe. And so when you have the idea that what you're doing is going to save people's lives, it's difficult to convince somebody else, or it's difficult to be convinced.
Yeah. Right.
Right? You're like, I'm the good guy.
Right. Yeah. It's the you feel like you're coming from a good place, from a really solid standpoint of I'm just trying to save lives. If you truly believe that and think that, it's hard to think any other way because it's the noble thing to do. Of course you want to save lives.
Of course.
But it's flipping the script and having people understand that firearms actually save lives. They don't take lives.
Correct.
Right? This is
The road to hell is paved with good intention.
Yeah, this is the tool to save lives. And to comment on a second comment on what you just said, when I believe that there is a large part of the population that genuinely believes that if they can regulate firearms or ban firearms, then they would be saving lives.
Yeah.
But that is a narrative being fed to them by the government
Correct.
so that they can eliminate
And news allocations,
and news
which is owned by
the government.
Yeah.
So, but what's happening is, dude, the government doesn't want you to have fucking guns. The current government does not want you to have guns. What government would want an armed population? You lose all control. All control. When people have guns,
Europe
and they have
certainly doesn't.
yeah, and you're at the whim of whatever they want you to do. So if the government feeds a good narrative into their constituents that says, look, if we do this, it's going to save a bunch of lives, and they start to believe that, then the government gets what they want, which is us not to have it, and then they could do more of what they want, which is to take our freedoms away one by one, layer by layer, allow themselves to line their own pockets and stay in power doing the shit that they're currently doing right now, because we can see it from a fucking mile away.
That's why when you see these politicians on camera, they're saying, we can reduce gun violence. We can stop the deaths. We can stop the killings. It just needs more regulation.
Right.
And you get all these people who believe that, who believe, hey, if we take the guns away, there will be less gun
If you're a
deaths.
sheep, why wouldn't you believe that?
Right. If you
It
believe
sounds
the government
great.
has
It
your best
sounds
interest.
noble. Yeah, if you truly believe that the government is looking out for you, of course you're going to eat that shit up.
Right.
It sounds fantastic.
Yes.
I can save lives if I just vote for this guy.
Right.
And I mean, it really is no wonder. But people don't fucking think. They don't look past that layer of, but what is the intention of the politician? To stay in political power. You know what? I saw something really interesting. Real interesting.
Like a
It
YouTube
was-
reel?
Like a YouTube reel interesting. It was a breakdown of all the presidents who had and the amount of wealth that they gained while they were a president.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Reagan went from like $2 million to $18 million. George W. Bush went from, $4 million to $40 million. And it showed the net worth of each president at the beginning of their
Before and after?
presidency and after the presidency.
Curious.
And every single president, from Reagan to Bush to Clinton to Bush to Obama, just saying the same two last names. No, there's no nepotism here.
Bush
I get
to
it.
Bush.
But going from president to president to president, all the way up to Trump, until you got to Trump, everybody had gained a significant amount of wealth. I think Obama more so than any other president. And then Trump went from $3.5 billion of net worth down to $2.5 billion of net worth while he was president. He is the only president. Trump is the only president
negative.
to have, well, he didn't go negative, but have had a net negative.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So a net negative from entering the presidency to leaving the presidency has lost
fascinating.
net worth throughout the process.
That's fascinating.
Isn't that great?
It's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. So
Well, didn't he also give away his congressional salary, presidential salary?
I believe he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe, but it's like I think at the time it was like $450,000 a year or something like that. I mean, it's
just
it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But it's negligible compared to what most of these guys are worth by the time they actually get into office.
Right.
But what we're seeing right now is, of course, these things are happening with politicians. In every sense of what they do, are doing the wrong thing, acting in self-interest, so that they can continue to get reelected, so that they continue to act in self-interest and continue to line their pockets.
You shouldn't trust people seeking to gain power.
The government does not like you.
No.
I'm not a fucking doomsdayer like this guy fucking said, because I think the government doesn't like me. It is a fucking fact that the government does not have your best interest in mind. I believe wholeheartedly that there are people in the government that are genuinely trying to change things. That there are a few people in politics. There are a few in politics. Maybe Matt Gaetz strikes me as one that genuinely cares about his constituents. Brandon Herrera, I think we all know, is a guy that's going to go into office and truly represent
hope he does.
his constituents.
I hope he goes into office.
And I truly hope it doesn't change him. I don't think it will.
I don't think it'll change him. I just hope he gets into office.
I hope he gets it. Yeah. But the vast majority of them don't.
Yeah.
Right. And so when the Epstein files come out, which they're about to, and we already know that there are many of these cats on the list, what's going to happen to them? There's already been. So we already know Clinton's on there, and Clinton's attorney already declined to block the release of his name. He was listed as like John Doe 36 in the documents, and Clinton's attorney actually didn't fight the fact that it was going to be released. Neither did Clinton. They were like, let it be released. Now, what is the motivation for doing that? Well, I can see one. It kind of makes you look bad if you're trying to prevent your name from being released when you probably know that it's inevitably going to be released anyway.
They'll just kill him anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do to Bill Clinton?
That's exactly my fucking point.
They're literally spitting in your face. They go, what are you going to do about it?
That's exactly my point.
They've killed like 8 reporters by shooting them in the back of the head twice.
Yeah. They're like, what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, what's going to happen is our names are going to be released. There may even be some damning evidence that a lot of these guys were involved on these fucking sexcapades that they had with fucking minors. And they're going to look at the fucking country and go, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Because nothing's going to get done to them about it. Look at the fucking FTX guy. Look at what happened to the fucking FTX guy.
Exactly.
The Bitcoin guy.
Right.
He literally funded the fucking campaigns with fucking money that wasn't his. And the politicians that took it were like, don't worry about it. You're not going to get in trouble for this.
Right.
We got your back when it all goes down, because eventually it's going to go down. Because people are going to wonder, where's my fucking money?
Right.
And they're going to come after you. And then they're going to go to the fucking FTC and other arms of the government. You're going to get prosecuted, but it's cool because we're in the government. We got your back. And guess what happened? They got his fucking back.
They got his fucking back.
There's no second trial for that fucking guy. And he's basically getting off because the same people who he lined the pockets of are the ones that got him off.
Right.
These guys are going to look. These guys are going to come out on information is going to be released about Epstein stuff, and they are going to look at the population of the United States and go, "What the fuck are you going to do about it?" And everybody's going to sit back and go, "I guess nothing." But we can do something. We can keep fucking talking about it. We can continue to fight the fact that nothing was fucking done about it, because as long as we continue talking about it, it will not go away.
Right.
They want it to go away.
They
want to, oh, look, like something else is going on. COVID 2.0. Don't worry about this. Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
but
soon
if
as
we
it gets
don't let that
released-
shit happen, if we don't talk about COVID 2.0 when it fucking comes, and it will come, then we can continue to push this narrative. I swear to God, dude, if it comes out and they don't do anything to these motherfuckers, I'll just bring it up on every fucking podcast, encourage everybody else to do the same. You cannot shut up a fucking nation that won't shut up, especially when we have the Constitution to fucking protect us.
Right. And,
That's it.
And
you can't shut it down.
Dude, there's so many videos. There's so many news reports of politicians, people in power, people in Congress, presidents, all of them, breaking the law, committing treason, like
Straight treason.
straight treason.
Yes.
And they just go,
Biden.
yeah.
Dude, taking money and bribes from foreign governments.
yes.
The evidence is
And
there.
bribing foreign governments.
Dude, and nothing's happening.
Nothing.
Is this not enraging
There's
fucking
literally
everybody?
a video of him saying, yeah, and then we bribed the police. Was it the police or the prosecutor or something? He's like, and if he's not fired, you're not going to get that $1 billion.
Yeah.
Sure as shit, he was fired. It's like, you're talking about bribery.
Yeah.
Like that's not good.
I think it's this whole concept of let's just see. It's kind of the opposite of regulation, right? Where they just take one little piece away at a time, the whole boil the frog theory.
Right.
Take one little piece at a time, hoping you won't notice. It's kind of going the other direction. It's like a fucking game for them. And it is. It's a chess game. It's like, I wonder if we just move this pawn over here, are they going to react? Are they going to send that rook out? Are they going to come get me?
Again,
no,
knight.
I'll just move that pawn up one little spot. Are they going to come get that little guy? Right? And eventually you've cleared the way to take out the fucking king.
And if they move too far, they just pull it back a little bit and say that never happened.
Yeah.
It's 1984.
It literally is.
They are gaslighting us.
And so what's going on right now is that dude in that video that we just watched, right? That categorizes 1-4 categories. The entire conversation that you and I have had right now, I think we've just hit all 4.
Correct.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because really, we all fall in all 4 categories.
Yeah.
It just depends on what we're talking about.
Or what level you're going to be classified as by some soy boy
Yeah.
who doesn't agree with you.
Yeah. Or just didn't do his fucking homework on anything.
Yeah. And
Just spouting fucking opinions.
And, to do a little circle jerk back to how we were talking about having these conversations with people and the road to hell being paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
The best argument that I have found so far that works for me is, that's great. I want to save lives too. That's awesome. But my life is not your responsibility.
Yeah. Yes.
My life is not your responsibility.
Yeah.
Your life is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility.
Yeah, that's the damn
you
truth.
being safe, what you do in your life, that's your responsibility. My life is mine. His life is his. Her life is hers.
Yeah.
It is not your responsibility to look after those people. You can be a good person. You can carry a firearm, and you can be a ward against evil, against people who would want to do harm.
Yeah.
But it is not your responsibility. It is the individual's.
Yeah. You can't tell us what to do with our own lives and our own safety, things that could potentially put us in the hospital until you socialize medicine. Oh, wait.
Wait, wrong one.
Oh, wait. No. But you see where it's going
Yes.
now? Let's socialize medicine. Fucking did it. There it is. We're living it right now. Like, I literally talked to one of our guys, Sean, who's leaving.
Shan?
Who left, actually.
Yeah. Bye, Sean.
He's gone. Bye. Have fun being a CO. Wish you the best. But he was telling me that he pays $1,100 a month for health insurance. Now, mind you, I pay half into his health insurance here at Tacticon. He pays $1,100 a month in health insurance. Still, for his family, for his wife and his kids and himself. Dude, that is insane.
Holy shit.
A young, healthy family subsidizing those people who will wait until, I've got cancer, but there's nothing with pre-existing conditions telling me I can't go get insurance. Essentially, I can crash the car and go get car insurance.
Right.
That's all. That's the world of medical insurance that we're living in right now. I can go crash my car and then I can go get health insurance.
Right.
Well, fuck, that kind of defeats the purpose of the insurance, doesn't it? And they're like, it's cool because if we make everybody fucking pay it, then everybody's going to be able to get it, except for people that don't really need platinum tier fucking health insurance that's paying $1,500, $2,000 a fucking month like some of us are, especially with families, are going to be paying it when we necessarily don't need it. Not to mention it's a fundamental right that's being taken away from me when I have to pay into something that I don't need because I'm young and healthy and I chose to go a healthy route and not live a dangerous life. Maybe. I'm not saying I do. But what I'm saying is if I choose to be healthy, if I choose to take the risk and not carry health insurance and assume the bad shit that's going to happen to me on the back end, which is I'm going to have massive medical bills that I'm going to have to pay back, then I shouldn't have to fucking pay that. Yet that is not the world we live in. But the second they socialize it, then they can say, hey, look, listen, we are mandating a socialized system of healthcare. And now because of that, we are going to make sure that we take action to make sure that you guys are all safe so that people aren't getting hurt.
Right.
And we have to do so because we also put this program in place that's going to take care of everybody.
Right.
That is my hypothesis behind what's going on, a lot of what's going on. It's just an interesting take on it, I would say. Obviously, these things haven't come out as confirmed, but who knows what's fucking real and what's not anymore.
Right. And that's that's the problem is I agree with the concept and the idea. Now, this is dangerous territory. I guess I should say I like the idea of if you get sick or you get in an incident, you will be taken care of. I like that idea. Free education. I like that idea because those are things that could potentially move the world in a better direction. But
big but,
no one's labor is yours to take for free.
right?
And that's the way the world works.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
Because nothing's fucking free.
No, you can't
It is
force
the number
somebody-
one law in Econ
Correct.
101 teaches you. One of the first things they teach you in Econ 101 is there is no such thing as a free lunch.
right,
Somebody is paying for something
Exactly.
somewhere along the way.
along the way,
Yeah. And if it is the government paying for it, yeah, it's not the government. It's you. It's the fucking taxpayer.
it's the taxpayer.
Yeah. You are ultimately paying for it. It is not just them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And while it is a nice idea, right? Like, hey,
Yeah, it's noble. Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Rolls
Again,
off the tongue well.
The problem is, the reason we have such high medical bills is because of the insurance industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does a saline bag that costs $1 to produce
Yeah.
cost over $100 on a medical bill?
I watch.
Questions.
Yes. I have seen a handful of people that I know that have had cancer that chose not to go the primary medical route and go to a more holistic approach, a more natural approach, homeopathic. Is that what
If
it's
you will,
called?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the exact terminology, but I know they went to
Homeopath?
Homeopath. I know one of my buddies in particular actually went to. He calls her the witch doctor, but dude, he had a tumor in his brain, a malignant tumor in his brain that was growing and now is not, and now is essentially basically non-existent, and he's going to live a long, healthy life.
Most
And he went the natural route. Instead of going the chemo route and the radiation route, the dude just went the natural route.
This is
and
not-
guess what? It went away. But guess how much the medical industry earned from that?
zero.
$0.
Yeah, and they were not
The guy
happy
literally
about
didn't go to the fucking doctor for it. He took the natural route. He went to the doctor to get the MRIs and the scans and things that he needed to get that the natural doctor didn't have to see what was still there.
Yeah.
And it went away. Now, I'm not saying it will go in every case. I'm not saying lives weren't saved through radiation and chemotherapy, but what I am saying is there are alternatives that the medical industry does not want us to fucking have because it is a huge business.
Huge. Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with how the medical industry and the pharma industry collides with the political industry.
Yeah.
I did just call it a political industry.
It is a political
But if you
industry,
think
yeah.
about it, they sell, right? Big pharma. Do they sell cures?
No. They sell treatments.
They sell treatments.
Yeah, they do not
It
sell
does
cures.
not fix the underlying cause, right?
Right.
It does not fix what happened. Same with politics.
Yeah.
Do they offer a cure? No.
No.
They offer a treatment. And what's interesting
The
is
cure to politics is to get the fuck out of the people's way and allow them to do what they want.
Correct.
That is the cure. Go ahead.
the government shall derive their powers from the consent of the governed.
From the consent of the governed, yes. Yes.
I've been reading the Declaration of Independence a lot recently.
As we all should.
But, and this is not, I don't want to, this is not medical advice. But what's interesting is I've done my own fair share of reading. Most diseases that I have read, most diseases cannot survive in a basic environment. Most things that we eat turn our body acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you turn your body basic on the pH scale,
Right.
most diseases won't survive.
Yeah, and that was essentially the majority of what he did was just change his diet.
Yeah.
He stopped drinking alcohol. He consumed healthy food.
Yeah, you stop eating a bunch of sugars.
And he exercised, and like that was like kind of all he did. That was, I mean, it wasn't
Just
what
saying.
drugs are you on, what treatments are you going through, what chemos are you? He was like, yeah, I exercised more and got more sleep.
You know
and
what's always
I
interesting?
ate better, and I was like, really?
You know what's always interesting about crazy side thought tangent, kind of not, but how people are like, oh, but the life expectancy back in the day was horrible. Right, like when they talk about old times, like whether it was like in the 1700s or stuff like that, they're like, oh, the life expectancy was horrible. It's terrible. Die in your 20s. It's like, we got people dying in our 20s now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they were living to the same age back in the day.
Yeah.
They were dying at 80,
You know
90.
why they're not? You know why they're dying now?
COVID.
They got no, the fucking vaccine. You got healthy people in their fucking 20s literally
drop
having heart attacks.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot in that.
And they will not address that.
Yeah.
Why the fuck won't they address it?
Because
Because it doesn't fit the fucking narrative.
it doesn't fit the narrative. Well, it's 1984.
But it's happening.
It's
You have
1984.
more healthy people dying from heart conditions that have got the fucking vaccine than in history, in recent history.
Well, I mean, when you inject yourself with an RNA.
RNA. It's
mRNA. There it is.
mRNA.
The M was messing me up.
It was
Okay?
in there.
My dyslexia was getting to me. So for those who don't know what an mRNA vaccine in Tacticon's fucking medical talk here, an mRNA vaccine is half of a DNA strand. So it's one half of the DNA strand. It's not the DNA, it's the mRNA, which is half of the helix. What I would consider to be
Injecting it in and then attaching itself into your system.
in a roundabout way, it's DNA. When you take DNA of a fucking virus,
Yes.
not an adjuvant and a dead strand of a virus or a bacteria, and you just go,
Without any proper medical trials over a significant period of time.
right. You're just like, yeah, dangerous.
Dangerous.
With that, with asking questions about the medical industry, with asking questions about dissenting opinion, let's ask this question, Jacob Dines.
Yes.
Carrying a firearm.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Let's get into that. So carrying a firearm in more than half of the states actually now.
This is just a question, not legal advice.
No, absolutely nothing you're about to hear is legal advice. We are not saying we do it. We're not saying we don't. What we are saying is we're asking questions. In over half of the states of the United States, it is allowed and implemented what is called constitutional carry.
Right. Which is just your opportunity to do what the Second Amendment already gives you.
You're just allowed to carry a firearm how you see fit.
You're allowed to
It's your
keep-
constitutional right based on the Second Amendment,
Yeah.
which states the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall
Yes.
not be infringed.
Okay, so yeah, and it's funny how we can rejoice over something that already exists. Like we're like, oh
it's
my
upsetting.
God, constitutional carry. Like we're allowed to do what? Exercise what the Second Amendment's already fucking outlined for us? Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
But unfortunately, in some states, in some dystopian hellscapes, you have to get a permit to carry a firearm concealed.
No, you don't.
So
No, you don't.
here's the question. Well, according to the state's government,
Yeah.
according to some law enforcement,
The state's government. It's not the state's government.
Right.
It's my government, and my government works for me.
from the consent of the government. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, tracking. So, question. If you were to carry a firearm without obtaining a infringement upon your right,
Right.
what is the worst that could happen?
The worst that can happen if I carry a firearm that's not allowed in my state is that I follow the laws of my constitution, and therefore I should be immune to whatever state regulation is in place, because the Constitution trumps my constitutional rights, trump any state regulation that's put in place to infringe upon those rights.
Because the Constitution is called the law of what?
The land,
Oh, right. With the land meaning the
the
United,
United States. Yeah.
And it's the people's right, correct?
the people's
It's
right.
the people's right to keep and bear arms that shall not be infringed.
That's exactly
Right.
right.
It has nothing to do with the militia being organized
Right.
because it has a period there.
State law is a derivative of federal law, not a replacement for
Constitutional law.
constitutional law. I misspoke.
It's okay.
State law is a derivative of constitutional law,
Right.
never a replacement for constitutional law. You don't get to say, except for that one.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
No.
So there's been several cases that already hold depth and weight when setting precedent for such an event, which is
For example,
Bruin, I believe.
Bruin, yes. Or how about Marbury versus Madison,
Explain.
where it's the Supreme Court states all laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. Not Nolan, but null.
They're null and void. And both, really.
Yes.
Yes.
They are null and void.
They're null and void and
them.
null and void.
Yes, I void them.
Yeah. I mean, it says it all right there that I suppose the question you should ask yourself is this. I've been meaning to get a permit to carry my concealed firearm because I live in a state that requires me to get one, or I live in a state that doesn't allow me to carry one concealed in the first place. I just want you to ask yourself this question. Is it right that you're not allowed to? Is it legal that you're not allowed to? And if the answer to those are no, then make an informed decision for yourself.
Especially if law enforcement is swearing an oath to the Constitution.
Correct.
Which I believe they do.
Right.
I believe they still do that.
Yes.
Thus,
and if your intentions are merely to preserve the safety of yourself and your family, then really all you're doing is assisting the police in their job.
Correct.
Because instead of tying up their resources, having to come out to you and save your ass, you could just save your own fucking ass.
Yeah.
And the medics will come clean up the mess.
Let me tell you what, where I grew up,
there are no roads.
There are no roads. Where I grew up, if there was a bump in the night, you got the tractor, not the phone.
There it is.
There it is. Anyways, so then, you know, with all that hoo-ha aside, is it the right of the person? Is it the responsibility of the person, of men in this country, of women in this country, to carry a firearm?
Yeah, it's not just a right. It is a responsibility. That is the key word there. If you're not doing it, then technically you're being irresponsible, in my opinion. In my opinion, if you are not doing what the Constitution outlined you to be able to do, which is keep and bear arms, right?
Yeah, it's the people's right.
It is the right of the people, but it is also a responsibility, in my opinion.
Right.
Right. It doesn't say that in the Constitution. It doesn't say it is the responsibility of the person. It is the right of the person, but it is also a responsibility of us to do so.
Well, I look at it this way, right? If you're, I hate to just say male, but I look at it from a male's perspective. But if you're a man and you have the capability to be a ward against
Evil?
villainy, against crime, right?
Tyranny,
villainy, crime, evil.
Right.
I like to just bound it up, good versus evil.
Sure.
If you could be a potential deterrent, a ward against it, you carry a firearm and you now know, hey, if I'm in this convenience store and something were to go awry, I have the possibility or the chance to potentially put this back in the right track. Right. I have the potential to save lives,
yes,
to protect my own life,
yep, and to protect my community.
And to protect my community where I live, where I stay, I can help keep it a safer place.
Right.
Why wouldn't that be a responsibility?
It is a responsibility.
It is a responsibility.
Absolutely.
If you have that ability and you shirk it off, that's negligence.
It's irresponsible.
It's irresponsible. It's just straight up negligence.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you're going to go carry without a permit and then you get hemmed up for it, then point to your Second Amendment rights, point to case law that has established the fact that we are allowed to exercise our constitutional rights.
This is not legal advice.
But do not point to Tacticon Armament for telling you to go do it.
No, it is 100% on you.
Yeah.
But
there's no fucking reason for there to be any permits in this country to carry concealed.
No.
Yeah.
No, because...
What do you think about, what's your opinion on open carry real quick?
Open carry?
Yeah.
Like, do I agree with open carry or do I like it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you should be allowed to do it, and many states allow you to do it, but what is your opinion on open carry?
Listen, if it wouldn't get me pulled over, I would open carry a C96 broom handle Mauser like Han Solo, okay? Listen, I dig open carry, and here's why. Now, there's a lot of controversy around open carry versus concealed carry. Yeah. I like open carry for the idea of, hey, go fuck yourself.
That...
Like, you walk into a store, sure, maybe I'm now your first, like, oh, I need to take out this guy.
Yeah, your first stop. Yeah,
but
for sure.
also, you see a gun on someone's hip and you go,
maybe I shouldn't do this.
Motherfucker might shoot my ass.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, most criminals are fucking cowards.
And if everybody, well, yeah, otherwise they wouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Correct.
Why are you robbing the unarmed woman? Why are you robbing the convenience store clerk that he's in there by himself at 2 o'clock in the morning?
The only people that won't care are psychopaths, but criminals, they care. They don't want to get yeeted. No.
Here's a perfect example. Most criminals don't rob a cop. Most criminals don't walk up to a cop car and go, give me all your fucking money. Is he carrying money? Of course, just like the fucking next guy. The guy's got some cash on him.
Yeah.
In fact, he's got a lot of valuable shit in that fucking car.
Absolutely.
Are you robbing him? No. Because he's got a firearm and he's gonna eat your ass, and then backup's gonna come if he doesn't and do the same.
Correct. So, and then you have a manhunt on you, and they're for sure going to kill you.
So why didn't you do it? Because you're aware of the consequences of doing something like that, and so they go for the soft targets.
Correct.
But if there are no soft targets, because everybody's walking around with a gun.
Walking around hard.
Yeah, and you don't know, maybe I take out the 3 guys in here that have, a firearm on them, but chances are somebody else is going to walk in and has one too. I would venture to say that crime is going to go down, not up. Just a thought. Maybe the guy's going to think, maybe I don't want a death sentence for robbing a guy. I'll go get a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because there is no death sentence for robbing a guy. As a matter of fact, in the state of California, people are, there's that whole bail thing that just happened where people are, we've eliminated bail completely, or are on the verge of eliminating bail for those who cannot afford it based on certain crimes. Dude, it's a thing.
Can we eliminate my rent because I can't afford it?
I think Illinois is doing it too. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I believe Illinois is pushing for, it's going to be one of those no bail states where if you haven't committed a crime where somebody is in imminent danger, then you're released on your own recognizance and expected to come back to court. And the thought process behind it is, well, only rich people are able to get bailed out, so you can't prevent other people from getting bailed out too. Okay.
No, just don't commit fucking crime.
But if you don't commit crimes, then you don't have anything to fucking worry about.
I don't think we should have bail. Do your fucking time. Bummer.
Yeah.
You got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, oh God.
So there's that. So, I do have to get in here. Made a promise to the wiffle ball bat and the kids.
I understand.
I'd be home for a little diarrhea.
I do understand. Was
there anything else that you wanted to cover or touch on? Every state is permitless carry, and I will say that. Congratulations. You've just earned your CCW permit.
Correct.
Signed off by Tacticon Armament.
This is not legal advice.
This is not legal advice.
But
and I'm not an attorney.
I do want to really want to just kind of solidify that. Guys, the Constitution outlines the law of the land. We have the right to keep and bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
What happens on the law enforcement side is up to you. Like that's on you.
I can tell you right now,
but
most cops
they're pretty fucking cool.
They're pretty fucking cool. Most cops don't give a shit.
And as long as you are indeed respectful, as long as you pass the attitude test, as long as your intention is to uphold the Second Amendment,
as long as you're not a felon and you're allowed to own a firearm.
Yep. Unfortunately, there are some rules that make people unable to have firearms, even though they committed nonviolent crimes.
Jesus Christ, I know. Like check fraud for like the guy's never done anything violent in his entire life, but he committed some level of check fraud that ended up being some sort of a white collar felony. Can't own a gun.
Right.
Like, fucking why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You smoked weed in 2007. You're a felon.
Can't vote. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there are some nasty things, and it is every being's right to self-defense. Plain and simple.
Yep.
Now, one slight argument, someone might be like, what about the violent offender? What about the rapist? Well, I think the people who were victimized should have had a gun in the first place, and that person shouldn't be here no more. Anyways, as soon as you put somebody else's life in risk, your life is forfeit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the damn truth. But it is about that time to protect ourselves. I mean, it genuinely is about that time to truly start protecting ourselves on every level, not just the personal might get robbed at the convenience store level, but all the way up to protecting ourselves against tyrannical government level.
Correct.
Because this is essentially what is laid out in front of us. And what is laid out in front of us is this. I'm going to hopefully break it down very, very quickly. This is, again, my opinion, but I see this happening. The government is printing money, right? Printing it.
This is literally the downfall of Rome.
Yes.
Like, this is what they did.
This is literally what's happening in front of us. They are printing money. They are decimating the economy.
Yeah.
They are going to destroy it.
Yep. It's already
from
destroyed.
the fucking top down. What's that?
It's already destroyed.
Yeah, well, it's already going to hell in a handbasket. Inflation is going to go through the fucking roof. We are going to need a new currency, probably a digital currency that the U.S. government is going to come in and save the fucking day with. Imagine that.
Oh, hey guys, we had this ready to go.
We had this digital currency all ready to go for you since we've completely invalidated the fucking dollar because we printed so much of it to send it to Ukraine, only for them to send it back into our liberal packs. But that's neither here nor there. But we know where the money is going. The money is going to the governments around the world that are going to continue to send it back to us and then fund the packs of the people who are printing the fucking money so that they can stay in power and do what they want to do so that they continue to make all that fucking money and then deliver some bullshit product like some digital fucking currency that we have to get from them. And then guess what they get to see? There is no longer the dollar for dollar transaction that you and I get to do. Why? Because everything is tracked. And in fact, I believe Germany is on the verge, if they haven't done it already, of instating a policy where they cannot, you are not allowed to spend more than $1,000 without some sort of government intervention, transaction history, right? Where a transaction cannot be made over $1,000 in cash. Now, I didn't do enough of a deep dive into this to really confirm nor deny, but look into it yourselves because there are already other governments out there that are basically saying, we want to see what you're spending the money on, and we need to be able to track it, and here are the thresholds of which we are going to do so. Now, imagine a digital currency in the United States. Well, imagine the economy collapsing, first of all.
And then
who do you need when the economy collapses? Who do you need? Who do you fall back on? Who are most people like, hey, help me?
Help.
The fucking government.
Right.
So we collapse your dollar, we fuck the entire economy up, we ruin your life, and then we come and save the fucking day. And guess what? We are now more powerful because we need to do things to be able to better help you.
And then all of a sudden they decide, hey.
What was that little law that they passed after the fucking planes flew into the Twin Towers?
Oh, I believe that was called the Patriot Act?
Yeah, where they can really dive down and see everybody's. I mean, that's when shit went fucking crazy and they got all of your information and really went in and took everybody's privacy away from them.
Yeah.
Because it was a great opportunity to fucking do it. I think we can all agree on that, right? So.
And then they're going to go, hey, we're not going to allow you to buy a gun now. You can't buy ammo anymore. Sorry. Yeah. We turned off digital currency for that.
That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
That's literally all they have to do. They say you're not allowed to use this particular currency that we regulate to buy these particular items.
Just turn it off for it.
You just turn it off.
So, and that's my biggest gripe with the crypto crowd. They're like, oh, it's decentralized. Oh, nobody can. You're fooling yourself.
Yeah.
You're fooling yourself. You're gaslighting yourself is what you're doing.
If the public can see where crypto is moved from one wallet to another, which you can.
Yeah, I can type in your address and see every transaction you make.
You can watch money get moved from one place to the other. And if you don't believe me, just go sign up for a crypto news thing and it'll say crypto whale transfers $1 billion from this account to this account. Like you can see it. It's active. It's all there. Then believe me when I say, and dude, I'm just going to call this right now. There's no bets being placed here, and I hope to God I'm fucking wrong. That's why I would never bet on this. But the government's going to print money till they collapse the economy, and then you're going to fucking need them. And when you need them, they're going to create this new fucking currency that they can control and they can regulate. And we are going to be, not you and I, but the majority of the population is going to be sucking their fucking teeth going, please, can I have some more? Can I get something? Can I get some porridge? Because I'm fucking hungry because I can't buy food because it's, $18 for a gallon of milk.
Right.
And of course, they're going to come in and they're going to create this amazing currency that everybody's going to be able to have and afford whatever they want to, except for the things that they need to be able to keep the government in check. And that's all I've got, I think.
I've got one last thing.
Do tell, pray tell.
The reason I'm against a digital currency, how am I supposed to put a Bitcoin in a stripper's booty hole? I'm looking out for the independent female workers. Don't go to strip clubs, kids. Keep your daughters off the pole. That was a joke.
What are you supposed to do? Throw my phone on the stage?
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw my phone.
It just doesn't have the same effect when I'm, dropping dollars on my phone. Look what.
And they can't grovel on the ground after they're said and pick
can't
up the
crawl
dollar
on
bill.
their hands and knees and pick them all up at the end of the dance.
Be a good goddamn American. Carry a gun.
Please.
Thank
And
you.
with that,
We bid thee.
Aquave.
Wow, what a great
damn it.
video.
Well, did I react inappropriately?
No, you're good.
Was I supposed to get mad?
No, so now what's happening is we're going to play that first part before we did the intro.
Oh.
And then you're going to talk about it.
So confused. Now what are we talking about?
Or do you want to just, or do you just want to go from there? Like we're talking about it fresh.
Start over for me.
So we were talking about the video.
Okay.
And then I said, let's put this in here. And we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take that beginning section and move it after where I was like, I'm going to show Jake and then move that and then catch back into it? Or do you just want to ixnay that out and then go from here?
Oh, you want to start like right now? Completely start over?
No.
Let's
No.
go into the beginning of the video.
What we just did.
Got it. That's going to the
And
beginning.
then I was going to move what we did at the beginning there to right here.
Oh,
and
to
then-
right here.
And then we were going
right
to
after the beginning.
And then we were going to catch up.
Oh.
See what I'm saying?
I see. We could do that. Okay, yeah, we could do that.
Does that make sense? Because I feel like we had some good points about
There
Dissenting.
were good points. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it would flow better.
Right.
Are you leaving all this in?
No,
Parts of it?
maybe.
Chop it up. Put it at the end.
I'll put it at the end. It's just us going back and what? What? Who?
How? Huh? Eh? Next.